Sup, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome back to the DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing I want to talk about today is 18-year-old Obdulia Sanchez. Sanchez is in the news because she live streamed herself driving recklessly and crashing. A crash that killed her 14-year-old sister, Jacqueline. And then Sanchez live streamed the death of her 14-year-old sister. And Sanchez is currently in police custody facing charges of vehicular manslaughter while under the influence and a DUI. Now, I do want to warn you, what I'm about to show is very disturbing. I'm blacking out anything that features the victim here, but it is important for you to realize the person that we are dealing with here. So in the beginning, it looks like Sanchez sets up the live stream where she's dancing and mouthing along with the lyrics, and then we see the beginning of the crash. Authorities said Sanchez swerved off the road, then overcorrected. This resulted in the car crossing multiple lanes, hitting a barbed wire fence, causing the car to crash and roll. There were 3 girls in the car. Neither of the girls in the back had a seatbelt on, and Jacqueline was thrown out of the car. The video then cuts to this disturbing footage.
I don't give a man, we about to die. My sister, I with my sister, okay? I know I'm going to jail for life, alright? I understand that. This is the last thing I wanted to happen, okay? Alright? I don't care though, I'm gonna hold it down.
And it just makes me wonder, what kind of monster reacts like this? At the end, she's just live streaming a close-up of her bloody sister's face. Her younger sister just motionless, bleeding from her head. And authorities are saying they're looking into the video to see if it contributed to the crash. Personally, I'm leaning towards yes. I mean, there's obviously the part of the story of what the hell is going on in your mind that you were going to live stream the death of your sister. But it looks like even the swerve may have been for her live stream. She previously posted pictures like this with the caption, "When you almost crashed because you're on Snapchat." It also looks like she shot a video from earlier in the day where she swerved the car in that video too. And to add to my disgust around this situation, I found out that there is a Facebook group called Free Obdulia Sanchez. And their main message is, "Obdulia Sanchez made a mistake. Do not make her a scapegoat. Is this what a murderer looks like?" And they post things like, "Obdulia Sanchez is a child who made an error in judgment. She is being made a scapegoat for an incident that took the life of her 14-year-old sister, but it is not Obdulia's fault. She should not be held responsible for this terrible tragedy," which says more about our society and what is deemed acceptable. We need to take a look at society and see where we went wrong and how we can prevent this from happening in the future. But there is no reason why Obdulia should bear the brunt of the consequences. Also, fun fact, there are over 6,000 people that are a part of that group. And there's part of me that just hopes 5-6 of the people that are part of that page are there to just witness the stupid and they don't actually agree. Society is not at fault here. Technology is not at fault here. The only person at fault is the self-described psycho. Every choice Obdulia made here led to the death of her 14-year-old sister. And I could just continue to rant here, but this garbage person has taken up too much time already. But of course, this is my opinion. I'd love to know, do you think that Obdulia, she did wrong, she should be punished to the fullest extent of the law? Or are you someone of the mindset that she made a mistake and she should be forgiven? I'd love to know where your mind's at on this story. And then let's talk about a small update around the Jake Paul story we covered yesterday. I'm gonna overdose from stupid if this story keeps going. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch yesterday's video. It appears that as this story has continued to grow, Jake Paul, but more specifically his home, has become a bigger target. It appears that Jake Paul's house has been swatted twice, once resulting in law enforcement showing up, the other the fire department. Also, YouTubers trying to get views have been going to the home. Police have been called to remove them. I'm also skeptical talking about any part of this situation because we're dealing with YouTubers, so you never know who's lying. I mean, the situation involves Jake Paul, who put out a video called "I, Jake Paul, Actually Got Arrested." The thumbnail shows him getting arrested. And then if you watch the video, it's actually fake police officers that he hired. Because once again, it doesn't matter if it is good or bad about Jake Paul, all of this has just led to him growing more and more. He's still averaging 50,000 plus new subscribers a day. The fandom around Jake Paul is so insane and stupid. Jake Paul could punch a baby in the throat and his fans would be like, "Jake Paul is savage." Logan Paul would pop around a corner going, "Only a maverick would punch a baby in the throat." Links down below to our baby puncher shirt. Reality and common sense have ceased to be. They have left the building, left no forwarding address. There was also the update that Jake Paul released a video where he went into further detail about why he left Disney. And he made it sound like it was just the right time and not that it had anything really to do with this this situation. To that I say, okay, that's fine, that's his story. The note that I do want to end on here is, while you may think that Jake Paul is a douchebag because he has been doing douchebag things, that does not in turn make it okay to SWAT his home. We shouldn't really hit a point where we're cheering that on. What we're talking about there is a crime. It is a serious, serious problem that creators face. Well, that's where I'll leave that. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and Today in Awesome, brought to you by Phil.Ting.com. Ting, of course, the fantastic pay what you actually use, no BS fees, plans, sketchy charges, cell service. Ting customers on average pay $26 for one device. You can start saving money on Ting with the phone you're using now. So if you want to check it out or make the smart move like many from the nation already have, go to Phil.Ting.com, and if you sign up with that URL, you will get a $25 credit. And the first bit of awesome is we got brand new Binging with Babish. He tells you how to make some lemon pepper wet, which, by the way, if you don't know what that reference is, watch Atlanta on FX. It feels like the beginning of something amazing. And then we had Nerdist putting out a video of what if Star Wars was in the style of Arrested Development. We got a cute little short from Ashley Anderson, Jacob Mann, called Extinguish. And maybe my favorite thing of the day, Kingsman meets Archer. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret links of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. And then really quick, I want to talk about United Airlines back in the news, not for reaccommodating someone's face or losing someone's luggage. But this past weekend was Comic-Con, and a lot of people go for, the trailers, the announcements, but there are people that still go to buy a ton of comic books. And United Airlines made the news because they had signs up saying Comic-Con attendees, comic books are not allowed in checked luggage. And so obviously a lot of people were confused because that makes no sense whatsoever. Now, as far as the reasoning, customer service from United said, the restriction on checking comic books applies to all airlines operating out of San Diego this weekend and is set by the TSA. While you won't be able to check the comic books, they will be allowed in your carry-on bag or personal item. Customer asks, what about regular books? United responds, your regular book should be A-okay. A response that I think anyone with even half a brain would go, well, that makes no sense. I can take regular books and put that in checked luggage, but not thinner comic books. Why would the TSA do this to us? And the TSA's response was, well, we didn't. What? The TSA not only issuing a statement, but tweeting back to United saying, good afternoon, please note there are no TSA restrictions on checking comic books or any other types of books. And a TSA spokesperson saying the TSA never put out that guidance. And United later released a statement saying, we misunderstood TSA's instructions and regret any inconvenience this may have caused our customers. And it appears the thing that they misunderstood was a 2016 TSA blog post. There, the TSA advises Comic-Con goers, not orders, advises Comic-Con goers to pack items such as stacks of brochures and assorted comic books in your carry-on bag, because stacks of comics or similar items can trigger alerts in the bag scanning process, requiring security personnel to check the contents. So essentially, United Airlines seems to have done the large business equivalent of skimming a book right before you get a test, so that you didn't actually pay attention to the details and you fail that test, so yeah. And then I want to talk about President Donald Trump in the news again. And people are talking about Trump today for a few reasons. And the first reason we're talking about today is that President Trump spoke at the National Boy Scout Jamboree. Now, President Trump opened with what I actually found to be a funny statement.
Boy, you have a lot of people here. The press will say it's about 200 people. It looks like about 45,000 people. You set a record today.
Now, it's estimated the crowd was actually between 35,000 to 40,000, but we'll give Trump a pass here because he's a guy. I sometimes say it's a little bit bigger just to get your attention. And then Trump wanted to set the tone for this speech and let people know this isn't about politics tonight.
As I said, who the hell wants to speak about politics when I'm in front of the Boy Scouts?
And then for the rest of the speech, President Trump stayed true to that statement. He said sarcastically, setting up a barrage of clips that showcases the contrary.
And I see all these politicians. And I see the swamp killing this horrible thing known as Obamacare. Did President Obama ever come to a jamboree? And that map was so red, it was unbelievable, and they didn't know what to say. And we have a tremendous disadvantage in the Electoral College. I went to Maine 4 times because it's one vote, and we won. And I'd leave these massive crowds that say, why are we going to lose this state? By the way, under the Trump administration, you'll be saying Merry Christmas again.
And as you'd expect, there was a big reaction. Some parents writing, done with the Scouts after you felt the need to have my kid listen to a liar stroke his ego. Another saying, wow, this is what you're teaching the Boy Scout? To be disrespectful to a past president? One that had been a Boy Scout, unlike the current president, completely disrespectful. Others claiming that the Boy Scouts violated their own policy on the Boy Scouts' participation in political events. And a few things I do want to point out. Barack Obama, yes, he was a Boy Scout. And while President Obama did technically in the past film a video for the Jamboree, Trump is right that Obama did not attend the Jamboree. And while there are people that are angry, you need to understand this does not hurt Donald Trump. He is speaking to his people. If you watch the video, he is being cheered on. Talking about killing Obamacare, cheered on.
Killing this horrible thing known as Obamacare that's really hurting us. So.
talking about winning the Electoral College again, cheered on.
And that map was so red, it was unbelievable, and they didn't know what to say.
He's not being booed here. He knows his audience better than you think you know his audience. Then we had Trump's public treatment of his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. It's a situation so odd, even Breitbart doesn't appear to be on Trump's side here. They wrote an article titled Trump versus Trump. POTUS endangers immigration agenda because Sessions followed his lead on Hillary crimes. And then they later changed that title to Trump's attack on Sessions over Clinton prosecution highlights his own weak stance. So what the hell happened? Well, in an interview with the New York Times last week, he said he would have never appointed Jeff Sessions if he knew that he was going to recuse himself.
Sessions should have never recused himself. And if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me before he took the job, and I would have picked somebody else, which frankly, I think is very unfair to the president. How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, thanks, Jeff, but I can't, I'm not going to take you.
Then today, in his morning tweet storm, he tweets, Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump campaign, quietly working to boost Clinton. So where is the investigation, AG? Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes. Where are emails and DNC server and intel leakers? And I have to say, that statement from him is so confusing. During the campaign, Donald Trump hammered Hillary Clinton about her emails and all the scandals. One of the rallying cries of his campaign was lock her up. In a nationally televised debate, he talked about her being in jail. But then after he won, he completely pulled back, saying, quote, I don't want to hurt the Clintons, I really don't. She went through a lot and suffered greatly in many different ways, and I'm not looking to hurt them at all. The campaign was vicious. So Trump says, lock her up, then he's like, never mind. Then the Russia-Trump story gets bigger and bigger and bigger in the media, and then Trump starts talking about Hillary Clinton again, and then he's publicly going after his own attorney general on Twitter for seemingly focusing on other things, which is what it had previously sounded like he wanted. And then you have Kellyanne Conway speaking on behalf of the White House regarding, has the president changed his opinion on prosecuting Hillary? Which she reportedly says he didn't change his mind, he's wondering out loud. And as far as what's in store for Jeff Sessions' future, we don't know, but we might know soon. There are reports coming out from sources saying Jeff Sessions has no intention of resigning. Sources saying he hasn't spoken to the president in several days, he is pissed off about this. And as far as if Trump would remove him, maybe. The new White House communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, saying, you have to look at the tweets and let the tweets stand for themselves, that the president wants his cabinet secretaries to have his back. I think Jeff Sessions was an incredible campaigner for the president. He was there early for him. There's obviously an issue in the relationship. We'll get to a resolution shortly. And the final thing of note with Donald Trump today was something that he's been pushing for, and that is the Obamacare repeal. Today, the Senate voted yes to start debate around the Obamacare repeal. The Senate vote was 50 yes to 50 no, with the vice president breaking the tie. The only Republicans that voted against the bill were the two that we mentioned last week, Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. And for many, this bill actually passing was a shock. Just 36 hours ago, it seemed very unlikely. Senator John McCain was diagnosed with brain cancer. He had to have brain surgery. It was a question if he would be able to make it or be in the right state of mind. In addition to Collins and Murkowski, you had Senator Capito from West Virginia saying that she was going to vote no. Then the news came out that John McCain was going to DC. Someone must have switched their vote. And ultimately, that was Capito of West Virginia who switched to a yes just before the vote. So what does this mean? Is everything repealed? Well, no. Just because this is passed doesn't mean that all the Republicans are agreeing on what the actual plan is. The Senate has to now follow this complicated path to find an agreement. The big ideas around a replacement would most likely require 60 votes, but a skinny repeal wouldn't need the 60 votes. The skinny repeal would remove the individual mandate penalty, remove the employer mandate penalty, and remove the medical device tax. And if this went through, the Congressional Budget Office says that the number of uninsured would jump 14 to 15 million. And it looks like premiums would jump 20%. But I'm not fully sure as of right now there is even a majority for the skinny repeal. Senator John McCain, who voted yesterday, said he would not vote for the bill as it is today. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. And that's actually where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I try and do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to see the newest behind the scenes vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.